Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Alex Morash, and let's clear up the USA View. DHS quietly removes ban on secret surveillance based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The Department of Homeland Security has quietly eliminated policies preventing intelligence investigations based solely on sexual orientation or gender identity. As first reported by Bloomberg, DHS updated its policy manual this month, removing LGBTQ identities from the list of characteristics that cannot be the sole basis for surveillance. The manual now bars investigations based only on race, ethnicity, sex, religion, nationality, or disability, excluding sexual orientation and gender identity from these protections. The change follows Donald Trump's executive orders eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in government. He also mandated federal agencies recognize only two sexes, contradicting medical consensus. Trump's pick for Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, has a history of targeting queer rights, including banning trans athletes and gender-affirming care for youth. She also faced backlash after admitting to, honestly, to killing a 14-month-old puppy she deemed untrainable. The Brennan Center for Justice warned that DHS has a long record of civil liberty violations, including surveillance of journalists and activists. Critics fear the latest policy shift could justify increased monitoring of LGBTQ individuals. For now, DHS has not publicly explained the reason behind the change, but Queer News Tonight will follow this new policy and its implications on the LGBTQ community closely. You know, my first thought of this is like, well, you know, they're trying to slash all the FBI and CIA agents. I'm like, well, who's going to do the spying on us? And also like, well, you know, if you really want to spy on me, yes, I don't like it, Johnny Trump and Elon and all your friends. But like, from all seriousness, like, our country has a very bad history of how we survey our own people, whether it's based solely on sexual orientation or not. It's a very dark history.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, based on the last Republican convention, they'd be spying on themselves. So, you know, I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah, and the CPAC convention,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
everybody's grinder were growing up. So Kristi Noem must be orgasmic about this. The orange tumor picked Noem because she's more trainable than a puppy and also enjoys licking Musk's feet as much as Trump does.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that is definitely, you know, one way to look at dealing with Kristi. No. But, you know, I just worry where we're going with this as a country, honestly. It's just very scary to see how they're doing this all now.
Terrifying, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes back to we as a community need to really start closing ranks and growing our families.
But we've been saying that since before the election. So what is it going to take for that to happen?
Well, but that's where the community, our community has been challenged because we've never really had this moment. Outside of AIDS, we never had the moment to.
I hope we can rise to the occasion.
You know?
To defend the LGBTQ community for a second, you know, a lot of people talk about like these gays for Trump or whatnot. LGBTQ voters did swing 22 points towards not voting for Trump or voting for Harris this last cycle. So like our community got the message.
Of course. Yes.
And now we all know to like, you know, shred our emails and any other thing that can be surveyed by the government. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.